Welcome to another exciting episode of Presidential Talk. I'm your host, Juan Mendieta, Director of Communications at Miami Dade College. And this is a program where you get to hear directly from our campus presidents about exactly what's going on. And today we're at a very special campus. We're at the InterAmerican campus of Miami Dade College. And we're joined by its new president, maybe not that new, and that's Dr. Joanne Bashford, who's back at Miami Dade College and now the leader of this dynamic campus. Welcome, Dr. Bashford.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here.
And I say new and old because this is not your first tour at Miami Dade College. We're certainly happy to have you back. But I'd like to begin talking a little bit about you and your return to Miami Dade College.
Okay, all right. I'll start with, if you don't mind, when I first came to Miami Dade College, and it's very easy to remember the year. Right after Hurricane Andrew, I came and I started at Kendall campus. I worked there for a couple of years and then moved to the Institutional Research Office and worked there in several different roles, most recently as the Associate Provost for Institutional Effectiveness, doing strategic planning, all of the institutional research data work, college-wide testing programs, learning outcomes assessment. It was great. I loved it. I did that for about 9 years and thought, it's time for a little bit of a change. I wanted to do something more academic, closer to the students. So I left Miami Dade College for a while. I know not many people do that, right? I left Miami Dade College for a little while and quickly was sorry that I had, even though I went to a very nice place. I went to Broward College, great college, but it's not Miami Dade College in my opinion. So when I was offered the chance to come back, I jumped at it, and I couldn't be happier to be back as the campus president here at InterAmerican.
That's wonderful, and again, we're very happy to have you back. And you stepped into a campus which I tell people all the time is truly a gem. And not only because of its location, but its student body, the team here, a really special campus. Tell us about the campus you found when you returned.
Oh, I'd be happy to do that. It's I knew all of the campuses some, but when I came back to InterAmerican, I found out what a wonderful campus it is. And apparently you know that too, because everything you said is true. It's a very unique campus. And I think maybe it goes back to its origins. From what I understand, I wasn't here then. It started in 1972 with 2 classes being taught at Belen Jesuit prep school, 60 students learning English, and it quickly grew from there. In 1979, it had a full-fledged program. It was the Bilingual Studies Division of the Wolfson campus, and about 2,000 students. And then the community changed so much in the early 80s with an influx of students from the Caribbean and Latin America, and so the ESL program, the English as a Second Language program, grew quite a lot, and we added full-time faculty, we added day classes, and I think they moved out of the trailers about that time too, I'm not sure. But what I'm being told by the faculty and staff who were here back then is that this transformation, they lived through it, and it created a really nice bond between all of them, so that by the time it was big enough to become a center in 1986, and then finally large enough with 5,500 students to become a full-fledged campus in 2001, they had a really tight-knit group of faculty and staff and administrators, and many of them are still here. My secretary is one of the original, my assistant is one of the original ones, and she's filled me in a lot on the history. But today, it's quite different, I think. It maintains a lot of the same character, but it's also grown quite a bit. We have almost 20,000 students here now. We have over 150 programs that the students are enrolled in, and ESL, English as a Second Language, is still in very high demand, as you might imagine, in our community. But we have students enrolled in all kinds of degree programs. For example, last year we graduated almost 1,000 students in a wide variety of programs, including baccalaureates in education. Exceptional student education is a big one. Supervision and management is a big one. We have many students in the AA pathways, which would take them to a degree in business administration, accounting, pre-nursing, certificate programs, an associate in science and translation and interpretation, and I could go on, so you should probably stop me. But it's a very, very interesting campus, and so much has changed. We've grown, the community has grown, and we've grown with it. But the one thing I would want to say that has not changed is Miami Dade College's commitment, and certainly this campus's commitment, to always provide the access that students need to higher education. It's the way, it's the path to the American dream. And for our community, it's so very important. Our community is predominantly low income, second language, many recent immigrants, and what could be more important than a higher education to help
And this is kind of ground zero for the American dream because it's really the gateway, it's the entry point for many new Americans. It's where they get their first taste of this wonderful country. And I guess it's wonderful that Miami-Dade College is poised to be that institution that helps them with that transition. And talking about the transition of the campus, and you touched on it a little bit, even with the growth though, this has remained a campus with its ear to the ground, a campus that's very close to the community it serves. I always tell people that Miami-Dade College is a very big place, but still almost has that small campus feel to it.
It does. In fact, I think it's the perfect size campus. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's large enough to do many different things here, but small enough that the students know each other, the faculty know each other. There's a real sense of community here, so it's a great place to be, I think. And to respond to your comment about being close to the community, that's so very true. Just this morning, I was at Miami Senior High, which is right down the road, meeting with the principal and talking about taking the administrators over there on a tour. They've recently renovated their campus, and the high school is beautiful, and they've got great labs. I think our faculty, our chairs would be very impressed with what they've done there. But making that connection with some of the high school administrators and teachers would be very important as well. That's one of our primary feeder schools. We get a lot of our students from there. I think about half of their graduates that come to Miami-Dade come here to InterAmerican. It's a big draw.
And speaking of connections, one of the big connections is a cultural connection to this community. This community has really changed in the last, I'd say, 5 to 10 years and just blossomed as a cultural mecca with art galleries, a wonderful theater that Miami-Dade College operates. And today we're in the art gallery here at the InterAmerican campus. But aside from all those wonderful academic treasures you spoke of, this campus is really also a place for culture and the arts.
It is, and I would like to see that grow even more, actually. We are sitting in the gallery right now. We have the Women's Heritage Month exhibit in here. It's women of character, courage, and commitment. If you walked around, I think you'd be very impressed with the display. It's very nice. Last month, we had an African-American heritage display in here. So, yes, we frequently host gallery exhibits and events. The campus is the hub for many events too. The flag courtyard out front there is where we host a lot of student events, a lot of community events. For example, just in the 2 months that I've been here, I haven't been here very long, but in those 2 months, we've had some really great events. The students had in the flag courtyard a 3-day event. They put it together. It was all about human trafficking. This was their cause and their theme this year, so it was a 3-day event to increase awareness of human trafficking, to help prevent it and help the victims of human trafficking as well. So it was great. It was a really well thought out, well executed project for them. We had the Ford Foundation here with their Driving Dreams tour, where they honored 20 of the high school students who had written essays about reaching the American dream and what that meant to them. We have a college night coming up on May 6th. That's our next big event, where we have all the high school students invited with their parents to come and find out what the campus is all about, find out what college is all about, and how they, in fact, can go to college. So we've had some really great ones. And one really nice, this is sort of our signature community event, is the Child Safety Fair that we do each year. We work with Connect Familias to pull that off, and it was just a couple of weeks ago. About 2,000 community members were here. Lots of happy children's faces running around because there were games for them to play. There were slides, information booths, of course, and food and fun. It was a nice day.
At the end of this first segment, I think it's important to maybe hear from one of our students. You were just talking about him, but I understand that one of our students has a question for you.
Great.
Hi, Dr. Bashford. My name is Jasmina Olivas, and I am in the Civil Engineering program here at InterAmerican campus. I am a senator in the Student Government Association as well. I wanted to welcome you to our beautiful campus here. We're excited to have you. And I also had one question. I wanted to know if you had anything new planned for the new building here at InterAmerican campus.
Okay, that's a great question, and I certainly can fill you in on our plans. The Plaza building is going to transform the campus. It's going to be a great student-centered space. We're going to have a larger courtyard area. We need space for students to gather, to sit, to hang out. It will provide that, a larger library, nicer courtyard, more classrooms, a little fitness center. It's going to make the campus feel even more like a campus and become even more vibrant, I think.
That's wonderful. We've come to the end of the first segment, but we're going to be back in the second segment to talk about a very special program here at the InterAmerican campus of Miami-Dade College, and that's its renowned School of Education. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
cool programs for hot jobs. Let Miami Dade College jumpstart your career. We offer bachelor's degrees in film and TV production, electronics engineering, supervision and management, and nursing. Or choose from 300 other programs. With our flexible course schedules, you can take classes during the day, evening, weekend, or online. For more info, visit MDC.edu or call 305-237-8888. Get the knowledge and training for today's in-demand jobs. Register now.
Welcome back to Presidential Talk, where on this segment we're joined by a guest, and that's the Director of the School of Education, Dr. Susan Neiman. Welcome, Dr. Neiman, to this special segment on the School of Education. And before we get to you, Dr. Bashford, I hate to say that a campus has an anchor or has a program, but I think you can argue that the School of Education is truly an anchor at this campus. You know it before, you've certainly come back to it, but if you could give us an overview on the School of Education.
I'd be happy to. Yeah, the School of Education is indeed an anchor. It's a little bit more than that. We affectionately call it the jewel of InterAmerican campus. We're very proud of the work that they do in the School of Education, the passionate faculty that are involved, and the programs that we offer, and the service to the community with the School of Education. And I think Susan is Dr. Neiman's going to tell you a whole lot more about the program.
Absolutely, Dr. Neiman. This was a trailblazing program, especially for baccalaureates, but it's not just baccalaureates. Tell us what the School of Education truly does.
Okay, well, first of all, we were the first baccalaureate program at the college when the college was allowed to offer baccalaureate degrees. It is now 10 years since awarding our very first baccalaureate degree, and we've graduated almost 1,400 teachers, most of whom teach in Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So if your child is in Miami-Dade County Public Schools, chances are your child is being taught by a Miami-Dade College alumni. The School of Education is made up of 3 departments: the Early Childhood Education Department, our K-12 teacher education programs, and the Center for Professional Development. The Early Childhood Department is a very dynamic department and has major partnerships with more than 20 early childhood agencies across the county. They look to Miami-Dade College School of Education Early Childhood Department for all sorts of training and workshops that we offer. Within the school, we have a career ladder, so students can come in and take a college credit certificate. That will eventually lead to a professional credential that allows them to work in schools. A program of that length is usually about 2 years, since most of our students are part-time students. The credential that they get, which allows them to work, leads into our Associate in Science degrees. We offer 4 nationally accredited Associate in Science degrees in early childhood education. We are the only institution that has 4 nationally accredited degrees from the National Association for the Education of Young Children. And our associate degree leads into our Bachelor of Science, which is a brand new Bachelor's of Science. We are awarding the degree to our first graduating class this May. And this degree is very revolutionary because it is from birth to age 8. And we also provide endorsements, which is additional training in reading, pre-kindergarten disabilities, and English for speakers of other languages. Each of those additional trainings show the commitment that the school has to young children. Reading, because literacy is the foundation for education. Pre-kindergarten disabilities, because identification of learning anomalies can be remediated very cheaply and very effectively when children are young. And ESOL, to respond to the nature of our community, the diversity that we have here. So that's one department. Our second department is our K-12 teacher education program. We offer 6 different baccalaureate degrees. Exceptional student education for K-12 is our biggest program at this time. We offer a degree in mathematics education and in science education as well. The hallmark of our program is the extraordinary amount of clinical hours that our students spend in school. They spend over 1,000 hours in schools practicing with different children in different settings across the county. And that's why principals say that they want to hire our students, because they have the experience in the classroom when they show up on the first day of the job. Our third department is our Center for Professional Development, and that's where we have all of our post-baccalaureate work. We also host the Educator Preparation Institute, which is an alternative pathway to teacher certification for people who hold baccalaureate degrees in areas other than education. So if you have a mathematics degree and you want to become a teacher, you come into our EPI program, and in 8 months we can train you up with the proper pedagogy to make you a teacher and hopefully get you a job. We also offer substitute teacher training, which is a great way for people who are considering going into teaching to try it out and see if they like working in schools. We also offer endorsements, additional training to work with populations of autistic children, ESOL, English language learners, gifted populations, and pre-kindergarten disabilities. And we are also growing our teacher certification courses, and many teachers like to come to Miami Dade College and take their teacher recertification courses because we offer them in a variety of different formats where they can take a course in a week or on weekends, and that really fits their very, very busy schedules.
Very impressive. Obviously, a school that's responsive to the needs of the community, and that rings true. The quality of our graduates, I think, are set apart because of the human touch. These graduates are workforce ready when they finish. They've been on the ground throughout the program, and they really make for the best teachers. Isn't that correct, Dr. Bashford?
Absolutely, it is correct. And I like to think, and I believe it's true, that many of these teachers would not be teachers now if it weren't for the programs that we had here at the School of Education, because they wouldn't have gone elsewhere. We fit their need, we were here for them, and they became great teachers as a result.
And Dr. Neiman, you and I have had multiple conversations about the fact that you still have capacity in this program. There are still many opportunities for people to join. We know that at times the media and others have maybe, I don't want to say vilified, but spoken about the teaching profession. But it is a wonderful profession. Not only is it rewarding, but there's opportunities for growth. Tell us what you would tell somebody out there who's maybe considering attending the School of Education but not totally sure.
We say teaching is a calling, and we hope that everyone who goes into the teaching profession has that passion. But teaching really is the most important profession that there is, because teaching allows all other professions to exist. Our students get jobs. We know that over 92% of our graduates are working in field. Many of our graduates, probably over 80% of our graduates, have master's degrees and are furthering their careers. And even though they go to other institutions for master's degrees, they always come back to Miami Dade College and tell us that we are the ones who really started them off, and that they consider themselves to be alumni of this institution and are very, very proud of it.
And speaking of the quality of our students, my producer tells me we have a video that really typifies the Miami Dade College School of Education graduate. It's an intern and some folks who she worked with saying some wonderful things about her. Let's take a look.
So today's game plan. Game plan, CPS, chapter 23. Based on plans. Okay. Any questions? Once you get that plan, you're gonna observe. Then you are going to what? Dissect it. Each one of you has to dissect the part. Okay? Dissect the parts that we had the quiz on. Okay? So you know the parts of the flower, right?
I was Maria's mentor teacher for this semester. It was fantastic having her. She's a very natural teacher. She was fantastic at what she was doing. I think probably the most important thing is that she has a good content knowledge, which gives her the ability to switch gears at just about any time and come up with something regardless of what we run into throughout the day. So it was great having her. She makes a fantastic teacher, and hopefully we'll be able to hire her in the fall.
Ms. Orr is really hands-on teacher, and also she explains everything, like she simplifies all the materials so everyone can understand. And she's just really nice, and also interacts with us a lot during the labs and goes around making sure everyone's on task and knows what we're doing and really understand the material.
Ms. Juarez is a great teacher because she tries to interact with everyone in the class. She makes sure that we're all learning and we're all disciplined, because sometimes we can get out of control.
Don't eat these. I don't think I need to tell you not to put this in your mouth, right?
She just makes sure that we're all on task, we're all doing good, and we all have good grades.
She's always good at keeping the kids engaged, and she has a great interaction with the students. They certainly respect her, and at the same time, she has fun doing what she does, which is the most important thing, is that we're having fun while we're learning.
Well, Dr. Bashford, like I said, that's typical of the student here.
Yes, it is. And that's exactly what Dr. Neiman was talking about when she said the hallmark of the program is the internships, the experience, the face-to-face in the classroom work that our students do, and why they make us so proud.
I'm glad that the one professor mentioned the knowledge of content. So not only are these people prepared in their teaching profession, but they also have the skills to interact with their students and colleagues.
Yes, that's so important. It really is. That's what makes them very good at what they do.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Neiman, thank you so much for joining us on this segment. Continued success to you and this wonderful school, and we hope to hear from you soon. And to our viewers, we'll be right back with one more session with Dr. Joanne Bashford, the president of the InterAmerican campus at Miami Dade College. Stick around.
Cool programs for hot jobs. Let Miami Dade College jumpstart your career. We offer bachelor's degrees in physician assistant studies, biological sciences, education, and public safety management. Or choose from 300 other programs. With our flexible course schedules, you can take classes during the day, evening, weekend, or online. For more info, visit MDC.edu or call 305-237-8888. Get the knowledge and training for today's in-demand jobs. Register now.
Welcome back to this final segment of Presidential Talk, where today we're talking about the InterAmerican campus at Miami Dade College, and we're joined by its campus president, Dr. Joanne Bashford. Well, we've talked about a lot in this show. We have a few minutes left to talk about some other programs that we haven't touched on. One of those really unique programs is the Honors College Dual Language Program, which is based right here at the InterAmerican campus. Tell us about that.
That's right. It is a very special program. While we have the Honors College on 3 other campuses, the one that we have here has an added twist in that the students need to be fluent in English and Spanish. And by the time they graduate, our expectation is that they are fully fluent. They can conduct business. They're ready to join the work world when they complete their degree, speaking both English and Spanish. And you can imagine how important that is in our bilingual community and in the global workplace now. It really does the students a good service, I think, to learn both languages and be ready to compete that way. It also, if I could say, it also, I think, instills in them a real sense of confidence and leadership, and we don't have the same problem that some of the other campuses do with the students being a little reluctant to leave Miami, because I think the global focus of the program helps them see beyond the Miami boundaries and go to some really top-notch universities elsewhere, and then hopefully come back, of course, and work in Miami.
And it's fully immersion. I mean, when we say dual language, it's not as if they're Spanish classes. A traditional college coursework is taught in Spanish in some of these.
Right.
So that, like you said, the student finishes with total fluency in their studies.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So they're taking calculus in Spanish, for example, or you name it. I think it would be difficult, right? But they're doing it. They're very talented.
And you find that the students are really tenacious and resilient. They do well.
They're amazing. They're amazing students. Several of them are in the Student Leadership Academy that I have here on campus, and they are top-notch students. They're energetic, they're bright, they're eager, and I can't say enough good things about them. They're impressive.
And from the dual language program to the world of languages, the department that's based here at the InterAmerican campus on modern languages.
Yes, right. Well, as we had discussed before, we started as an English as a second language center, really. And from there, we've grown. We just recently completed development of an accelerated content-based curriculum for students who want to move faster through the English as a second language program and also gain credits in the degree of their choice at the same time. So it's a real asset, I think, for some of the students who can keep up with that fast pace. It's very good. One of the great programs that we have, though, and I want to mention this one, in the Department of World Languages is the Associate in Science in Translation and Interpretation Studies. In our community, we have so many people who speak Spanish, so many people who speak Haitian Creole. And in this program, we have 2 tracks that help students be prepared to translate written documents and interpret spoken language in a presentation, in a meeting, to translate for people and interpret when they need it from one language to another in both of those areas.
That is fantastic. We're actually out of time. That was a lot of wonderful information for our viewers, and we hope to have you back on this program soon to talk more about this special campus, the Inter-American campus at Miami-Dade College. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Bashford, and thank you to our viewers for also joining us for this half hour. We hope to see you again on MDC-TV at Miami-Dade College. Thank you.